Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Let's Talk Shamanism. This is another episode on our Tuesday monthly talks, and I'm having some interesting issues with technology, but it's all good. Full disclosure, my daughter got married this past weekend, and so I'm still riding high a little bit on all of that um, transpired this past weekend. So if I feel my energy feels a little off, I'm still recuperating. So, anyhow, my name is Andrea Groves. I am a lineage sanctioned teacher of the Pachakuti Mesa Tradition, which was founded by Don Oscar Miro-Quesada, who has brought this beautiful lineage, this teaching, this foundational shamanic teachings forward through his own teachings, through the work that he did as he apprenticed under Don Celso Rojas Palomino and Don Benito Corihuaman Vargas in Peru. So this beautiful sharing that we have here is about finding out about our shamanic selves, that vein that runs through us, that connects us deeply to earth, to mother nature, to all all of the all of our natural surroundings, and how we can live in right relationship so that there's peace and harmony for all beings on Pachamama, Mother Earth. So in this tradition, we honor the five directions, and the five directions are found on our mesa, our healing altar that we create as we become adepts in this great work. And so the healing altar is a beautiful manta, square cloth of fabric, no more than 2 feet by 2 feet. And we learn how to consecrate the ground beneath where our altar, our mesa, will be placed. We consecrate the ground so that that space becomes sacred, and it becomes known as a place where we will come to offer up our own prayers for ourselves, for healing of ourselves, for healing of friends and family and community, and also to Pachamama, Mother Earth. And so once we have consecrated and lain our beautiful cloth, which is usually a hand woven textile, there's some beautiful examples of Peruvian textiles that you can find, or it doesn't have to be that. It can be whatever you're called to use, something that might maybe strikes your fancy or has a color palette that speaks directly to your heart. Then that's what you use. And we create our mesa with the five foundational medicine pieces. They are also known as artes or cuyas. The Pachakuti Mesa tradition is riddled and steeped with not only Spanish terms and terminology, but also Quechua, the Quechua language, which is the indigenous language that is brought down from the Incan times. And it's a very beautiful language, and the language itself offers its own medicine. So we try to incorporate as many of the as much of the language through speaking and through prayers as we can. So we create the mesa by initiating the pieces onto our altar space, into our altar ground. And the five directions are south, which is known as the Pachamama piece, and then west, which is known as the Mamakia piece, and then north, which is known as the Wiracocha piece, and then east, which is known as the Inti piece, and then in the center, which is known as the Quichi piece or the Misa Rumi. And so each of these pieces are, you collect these pieces, they come to you. You may already have these pieces, or maybe you go in search of them in a beautiful spiritual store or out in nature, with the particular use of it becoming a medicine piece on your mesa. The south piece is generally a rock or a stone or a crystal, something very earthen, as the element that is associated with the south in this tradition is earth itself, the soils, the all the layers that go deep, deep, deep into the core of Mother Earth, Pachamama. And this piece is known as the Pachamama piece. And in the activation process, which I think we'll get to, I think I will talk about this today. I wasn't really sure exactly how this was going to work out, but this feels very relevant for those of you who maybe are interested in seeking out a tradition like this to step into. So we talk about the Pachamama piece, and we consecrate that piece in a particular way. And once that piece is consecrated, initiated, we place it on our mesa in the south, in the very center, the bottom of the mesa. And then we move and we initiate our piece that is for the west. And this is, generally speaking, a shell. It can be a conch shell. It can be a shell that you found as you were walking along the beach. It could be something that someone has given to you. And this shell represents the water, unu in Quechua. And it is known as the Mama Kia piece. Mama Kia is Grandmother Moon in Quechua. And so we initiate and we place this piece in the west. And then this is followed by the medicine piece or the arte in the north, which is known as the Wiracocha arte. And this is a feather, and this can be a feather that a flying friend brought to you. Maybe you collect feathers, or maybe you found a beautiful specimen in a store and you picked it up and you don't even know why. But the Wiracocha piece is represented by a feather, and the element that is represented in the north is Waira, air. And so we do the initiation and we place the Wiracocha piece in the north. And finally, we next, we come to the east. And this is our Inti Taita Kuya or Arte. And you'll hear that I'm interchanging the words Arte, medicine piece, Kuya. They all generally mean the same thing. And these words can be interchanged as you talk about them. So it's good just to kind of get used to hearing these words as they're spoken, and get used to speaking them yourself, so you get comfortable with their meaning. So we have Inti Taita, Father Son, in the east, and the element represented in the east is Nina, fire. And we initiate the and this piece is generally is a candle. So just from experience sake, I would say the best candle piece would be one of a pillar candle, like a plain white pillar candle in one of those glass pillar cylinders. Those last quite a while, and you can get them non-scented so that there's not so that you don't have to worry about burning any toxins or things like that. You can use any candle that you prefer. Um, it is it is just with knowing that you will be replacing that candle. So if you use something that's a little bit on the smaller side, that you will need to replace that candle, because we do, when we activate our mesas, we do burn the candles. And so we initiate the Inti Taita piece, and we place it in the east of our mesa. And finally, we come to the fifth foundational point, pillar point, for our mesas, the fifth foundational anchor, as it is. And this piece um, is traditionally, it has been a shell with water, I think. My my mesa is not traditional, so I may be incorrect on that. So I may have to look into that and actually place something in the comments with my findings, because off the top of my head, I don't have exactly what the traditional centerpiece is. It is also known as the misarumi. But for me, it was a power piece. It was a piece that fully, wholly embodied and represented my energy, something that had of itself already brought magic into my life. And so that is how I chose my Misarumi, or the piece, my Quiche piece. And Quiche is representative of the element of the quintessence, rainbow essence, the everything in between, sort of um, plasmic essence, I guess, as it were. It's probably the hardest to describe. It's easier just to feel it. And so this piece we initiate and we place it directly in the center of our mesas. And then when you look and you gaze at your mesa after you have completed the beautiful consecration, you've laid down your manta cloth, your cloth, altar cloth, and then go through the initiation process of all of these pieces. And they're there, and you can immediately feel a shift, an energy of sort of like a firing up of a higher frequency, a higher vibration. And um, this is before we even activate our mesas. So it's quite amazing and magical. And what I love about the mesa is it is a true representation. It's a mirror of who you are. So even when you gaze at it with only just those five beautiful anchoring pieces, those pillars that anchor into the three different worlds, which is exactly what we're doing when we are setting up our mesa, is we are with the intention of accessing each of the different worlds, which I'll talk about in just a moment. um, Actually, I guess I'm talking about it now, so let's just keep on that vein. So now that we have our beautiful mesa piece, and it's us, right? It's a reflection of who we are. And so it allows us to be able to travel to the different worlds. And in the Andean Cosmovision, the three different worlds are called the Ukupacha, which is the lower or the inner world. I like to think of it as the inner world, which I'll talk about that in a moment. So that's the Ukupacha, which would be considered the place on the mesa in the lower third portion of your mesa would be the Ukupacha region. And then the next region higher is the Kaipacha. And the Kaipacha is this 3D earth walk that we are doing right now, this time, this linear time that we are living, this crazy chaotic time. Okay. And that would be the middle third of your mesa. And then we have the Hanakpacha region, which is the which is the what we would consider the heavenly realms, right? The upper world, access to source is through the Hanak Pacha. So, and the way that we can travel to and through all of these worlds, and they interweave and they overlap and they interconnect with each other, is through the center of the mesa, through the Mesa Rumi. Through the Mesa Rumi, you have direct access to the Ukupacha, to soul, to shadow work, bringing up things from deep within that have not yet, maybe you have not maybe yet been able to bring up into the light, to shine, to clear and do work that needs to be done there, and that's okay. We're only able to do what we can do when we can do it. If and when you are ready to work on Ukupacha shadow things from deep within, to clear and cleanse maybe karmic past, maybe karmic family stuff that you've had to deal with, soul family and your bloodline family. We come from both of those places. And we carry things that are not ours, and we can clear them. So we can access this for healing through our own mesas. And then also on the Kaipacha, we can learn a lot about ourselves, about our families, our communities, through observing, through being an observer, a non judging observer, right? And we can use our mesa to help integrate healing to people and places who maybe are suffering, who are needing support. And we can offer that through the work we do on our mesas in the Kaipacha. And then we can also access the Hanak Pacha, the heavenly realms, which gives us access to the Chaskakunas, our star relatives as well, right? This vast array, this vast expanse of of space, if you will, and the possibilities are endless. And this is the place where we can receive the highest refined vibrational energy to really clear and cleanse and do the work for ourselves to become our highest vibrational light bodied self, calling in the light codes, activating and reinforming the blueprints of becoming a new humanity, one that is based and steeped in love, and not as it has been in this current era in the materialistic fashion, right? So you have this beautiful mesa that offers all of this wonderful possibility, and allows you to create the world that you want to see, that you want to live in. And there's many stories I've taught now, many students I've had. I'm finishing up my third apprenticeship hoop, beginning a fourth, and or actually working also on the fourth. I have many in the works, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I've seen these students grow and and expand in just very short periods of time, and the life-changing things that happen in just the shortest amounts of time. It's soul gratifying to see, and I know that I'm not the reason for it. I am humbled and gratified and honored when they choose me as a teacher to help them. But it's not me doing any of this, it's them doing this work for themselves. And it brings me joy to be able to be a witness and to be of support, and of service in that way. So these are some of the things that you come to know and learn in much greater detail. If you're able to take the Ritual Cosmos class with me, I offer that just about once a month. That may start to slow once we get into the fall time, but I'm not sure yet. As I said, my daughter just got married, and my life was highly intensely focused on that aspect. And so now I have I have some work to do to decide what I want to do in these next weeks and months. So it's really kind of exciting. So yeah, I have a Ritual Cosmos class coming up, actually in just a couple of days, that there's plenty of room to still join if you're interested in. So I would be honored, and that's an online course class. And if you do sign up with me, I will record it so you can go back to it. You can, look at it, if there's parts that maybe are tricky, or maybe if you can't be on. Absolutely. It's a 3.5 hour class, so I know it's kind of long, but like I said, you get the recording, so you don't have to necessarily be there for the whole thing. However, I highly recommend you being there for the whole thing, because it's very gratifying to do start to finish, and to be able to go through the whole process and then to activate your mesa. And we sit all with our mesas activated, and it's just a really beautiful experience. So I invite you to check that out with me. I'm also beginning a new apprenticeship hoop in Ohio that starts in September. I believe it is the last weekend of September. It's going to be in the Cleveland area, so I'm really excited about that. I'm going to be working with a dear, sweet, good friend in that area, Annie Patea, and um, to she's been working diligently to have to find the beautiful souls who are ready to step into this beautiful world of PMT. We call it Pachakuti Mesa Tradition Shamanism. And I'm also going to be in that area, in the Cleveland area, in just a few short weeks. I believe it is August 15th, we're going to do a despacho ceremony. And a despacho ceremony is basically creating a prayer packet to send up to the spirits, asking for blessing, for bringing the students, for bringing good fortune and abundance for all who join, and for spirit to be with us, and allow for a seamless, adventurous coming together and creating community. So if you're in the Cleveland area, I invite you to reach out. We would love to have you join us for that despacho ceremony. And then I'm also formulating another hoop that is going to hopefully, not hopefully, a hoop that's going to be starting later fall, probably November. I have the dates. I just have to verify that I didn't overlap anything. And I'm going to be sending out some special invitations to people who have reached out to me in these past weeks, uh, asking more deep questions about the Pachakuti Mesa tradition. I am from the Buffalo, New York area, so Western New York area, which covers all of the like the western region of New York, all along Lake Erie, um, and up to the border of Canada and down kind of through to the edge of Pennsylvania is kind of my area. And yeah, so this is where I do hold most of my apprenticeships is in that area. But I'm also a traveler and I love to travel. And for me, stepping into the shamanic path opened that up in a big way for me. Once I accepted um, the invitation, the call to heal, to step into my own apprenticeship with my mentor Barbara Hallman. This is going on over 5 years ago now. One of the things that always has just pulled at my heartstrings is to do world travel and to be able to bring my work with me and to do my work and be of service in this way, and not only finding the enjoyable places and having pleasurable um, experiences and being present, but also being able to do that while I shine my light of love also. So these are just some interesting things that are coming up. And since, this time of the year, it's really difficult to get people to settle for an hour on a beautiful summer evening. And I fully understand that. And I'm fully aware that that is a thing. So I'm happy to impart my words and hope they reach you in the ethers at another time, exactly when you are supposed to be hearing them. So you can always reach me. My email address is andrea.reiki11@gmail.com. You can find me on Facebook. I'm very present on Facebook at this moment. My Facebook is Reiki with Andrea and Shamanic Healing Services. I also have a website. It's www.groveshealing.com. And there's information on ways to get more information on any of my PMT offerings there. So that's how you can get a hold of me and ask me any questions. And it's a curse and a blessing, but I'm pretty much always available. So if you are lucky enough to know my cell phone number, which I'm not going to put here, but I give it out generously. You can text me or email anytime. I can receive my emails pretty. I receive them pretty well, so that I answer them pretty quickly. So I think that's all the information I need to tell you as far as that goes. But I just want to also give you an opportunity to hear what it sounds like to activate the mesa. Okay, so when we activate our mesa, after you've had it fully, um, you've consecrated the ground, your beautiful mesa is laid, and you have all of your initiated pieces, your 5 pieces. We then go ahead and activate the mesa. And how do we do this? We do this by holding our palms to our mesas, palms facing our mesas. Generally, we do this standing, um, especially in a group setting. So if you ever have an opportunity to activate your mesa in a group setting, it is one of the most powerful things that you can do to set a cascade of healing energy throughout the universe. So your palms face your mesa. You just can close your eyes and you release the air from your breath. And how we do this is we intone Pachamama 3 times each. Then we intone Mama Kia 3 times each. Then we intone Witakocha, and then Inti, and then Quichi. So this will give you an idea of how it all sounds, and you can just listen. You can sit with your eyes closed and listen. Or if you feel comfortable, if you get the cadence and you understand the rhythm, I invite you to add your own voice in as the um, mantralization proceeds. So this is what it sounds like. I'm releasing all the air from my lungs, taking in a deep breath. Pachamama. 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 Next, we intone Mama Kia. Mama Kia. Mama Kia. Mama Kia. Wiracocha. 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 Inti. 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 And lastly, we intone Quichi 3 times. And Quichi is intoned at a little bit higher pitch. Sounds like this. Quichi. 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 And that is activating the mesa. At this time, if you had your mesa in front of you, you would light your East candle and you would be able to now you could sit, you can meditate at your mesa, and you can do all of the things, and you would be able to send healing love and just connect with the medicine of your artes. So I feel like this is a good place to sort of wrap up for the evening. I'm so grateful that you have joined, and I'm going to intone the directions 1 time each. I know we just activated. However, to close your mesa, you just intone the directions 1 time each, and then clap over your mesa to seal in the energies. So I'm going to do that just for the sake of being consistent, and also to give you this closing for this evening. So here it is. Pachama ma Mamaki ya Wirako cha inti Quichi. And that's how we close. And I'm just going to say thank you so much for joining me this evening, even if it is in the ethers. And I look forward to a time when we can spend together in person. Have a beautiful evening. Thank you.